The Honda Indy Toronto is underway, and Felix Rosenqvist was not going to expose himself to any competition and challenge. He took off from Scotland.
Hello IndyCar fans, welcome to Formula Pun Racer. You notice the Canadian flag behind me? Oh yeah, that's there for a reason. Especially since this video, I'm going to be talking about the latest IndyCar round, which took place on the 16th of July in the streets of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Oh yeah, hometown for the former IndyCar driver James the Meyer Hinchcliffe. Oh boy, I'm sure we're all ready to get some Canadian maple syrup stacked up on our pancakes for this exciting video, eh? While I'm sorry for all you Canadian IndyCar fans who no longer have James Hinchcliffe driving in IndyCars and only have Devlin DeFrancesco to cheer on, the Honda Indy Toronto race did have its share of action-packed moments, and it all began right from the start at the green flag. On pole was Christian Lundgaard of Denmark driving for Rahal Letterman, getting his second IndyCar career pole, and instead of his usual black and red Hy-Vee sponsored, his car was painted green with something called Vivid Clear RX, which is a pharmacy within the Hy-Vee supermarket chains. And that chain is usually found in the Midwestern United States. If you're wondering where can I find Hy-Vees?
Vegas.
And Scott McLaughlin of Team Penske from New Zealand started second. When the green flag flew, Christian was starting to run away with it. But in the back of the pack, we had our first caution of the day shown here.
Let's see if we can take a look. You see wide, and the red and white car of Devlin DeFrancesco, I believe, got into the back of Ryan Hunter-Reay, who...
Uh-oh, what a mess. Pretty unfortunate, 6 cars involved in this big accident that blocked the track. 4 drivers retiring as a result. The retirees were Jack Harvey, Ryan Hunter-Reay, Benjamin Peterson, and making his IndyCar debut, Tom Blomqvist at MeyerShankRacing, who is the son of Swedish rally champion Stig Blomqvist. Pretty unfortunate for him because just one corner in the first lap for him, and that's over for his IndyCar career unless miracles occur. It's unfortunate because despite the fact that Simon Pagenaud is still not cleared to drive and return to his seat at MeyerShank, it will be ConorDaly replacing Tom Blomqvist in the next IndyCar round, which I'll get to later. Santino Ferrucci and Alexander Rossi were also involved in the fray, but they were the 2 of the 6 cars that continued. Graham Rahal, who started dead last despite rear-ending Benjamin Peterson, was also able to continue on, but since the track was blocked, he had to back his car up about 100 feet and go through the Prince's Gate to return to the race. The race would resume on lap 9 under green conditions, with Christian Lundgaard assuming control once again over Scott McLaughlin. Unfortunately for all you Canadian IndyCar fans, the only Canadian in the field, Devlin DeFrancesco, was out a lap later with mechanical issues. I'm sorry that you got no pride being competitive this round, eh? Lundgaard would pit on lap 20, giving up the lead over to Scott McLaughlin, but considering how well Christian Lundgaard's car had done in pole for this race and doing on a superb performance, he was sure that he was not going to let McLaughlin get away scot-free. As the race progressed, no doubt about it, Christian Lundgaard would be on a tear to catch up to Scott McLaughlin and hopefully retake the lead soon enough, but just before the halfway mark, it would be game over for another Andretti Autosport entry. It would be Romain Grosjean, whose car suffered handling issues and as a result couldn't control the car and slammed into the wall. No doubt about it, Grosjean wasn't hurt, but his pride sure was, along with his car. The race restarted 4 laps after Grosjean's crash, but unfortunately, since yellows sometimes breed yellows in racing, as the race was beginning to restart, Kyle Kirkwood of Andretti Autosport rear-ended Helio Castroneves, sending him into a spin and collecting AlexPalou's front wing in the process. It would be a race to forget, because later on, as the yellow came out again, he had to wait until green, because then Kyle Kirkwood had to take a stop-and-go penalty for avoidable contact. You may have noticed that AlexPalou, who goes into Toronto leading the championship, was not driving with American Legion as a sponsorship, but a company called Journey Rewards, shown here. It's a gas-saving app company based in Canada. Pretty fitting if you're gonna support local businesses. And despite the fact that AlexPalou didn't qualify in the top 10 for this race, he was still determined to get as many points as possible out of this race, and by God, he certainly would. But at what cost? After having that little tangle with Helio Castroneves that Kyle Kirkwood caused, his front wing would start to get looser and looser, but he would not stop. Pretty impressive, and that Spaniard was definitely on fire.
Not again.
Lap 52 would be when Kyle would serve his stop-and-go penalty, knock on Kirkwood, and make it a race he would like to forget, making Andretti Autosport's only hopes for a good finish in the hands of Colton Herta. And despite the fact that AlexPalou's front wing was getting looser and looser as the race would continue on, he would not pull over for a pit stop to change his front wing. He would continue to press on. Lap 61 would be the final lead change when Scott McLaughlin pit for fuel and tires, and it would be Christian Lundgaard of Denmark all the way.
Where's Marcus?
As for the two Marcuses in the race, both driving for Chip Ganassi Racing, you could say their end results were a little mediocre. Marcus Armstrong of New Zealand finished 7th, and his Swedish teammate Marcus Ericsson finished 11th.
It stinks!
And on top of that, AlexPalou, despite that front wing damage, that front wing barely managed to hang on as he managed to get into 2nd place. On top of that, Colton Herta finally got his first podium finish of the season. Congratulations on that, Colton. Must have been tough to get as far as you are, but it doesn't hurt a lot now that you're finally on the podium, eh? Well, I'm glad you find that funny, Lelouch v. Britannia. Man, I wish I had his looks. By the same token, it makes fitting sense for Japan because the Japanese engine manufacturer Honda has once again won another Indycar race, and being the title of the Toronto race, took the top 4 spots. Lundgaard the winner, AlexPalou despite his damaged front wing and barely hanging on to it, finished 2nd, Colton Herta 3rd, and Scott Dixon 4th. Pretty amazing. And being the first Danish driver in history to win an IndyCar race, this is also his team's first IndyCar win since the 2020 Indianapolis 500. So congratulations, Rahal Letterman-Lanigan, on that. And it was Takuma Sato that won the last round that they won. And Bobby Rahal, when he was still a driver, took the first Toronto race win ever held back in the 80s. So once again, to Christian Lundgaard, I salute with some cinnamon Danish. Let's celebrate, eh?
I love it!
Oh boy, I gotta say, this racing venue saw me seeing red and white everywhere I go. Canada for the racing venue, Denmark for the winning driver, and Japan for the engine manufacturer behind Christian Lundgaard. And to think it was basically a bookend result for Denmark because Benjamin Peterson, his countryman, finished dead last while Lundgaard, of course, as I just said, won the race. But if you thought the excitement was crazy in Canada, this weekend, the IndyCar racing is starting to get very corny as we have a doubleheader in Iowa on Saturday and Sunday. And that same Sunday will be the Hungarian Grand Prix for all you F1 fans. Here's hoping anyone but Red Bull wins for once. We'll soon see about that. But thanks for watching, everyone. If you like these videos, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to Formula Pun Racer. And we pray that Simon Pagenaud gets cleared to race again soon. And good luck to ConorDaly as he replaces him in Iowa. And can AlexPalou hold on to the championship or expand on it? Let's see. Be sure to tune in to these races, as well as if Max Verstappen can maintain his dominant ways in Hungary. We'll all be hungry for excitement. So as I munch on some corn chips here for some corny racing, I'm sure we're all hungry for a weekend of excitement, and we are gonna get it. See you in the next video, everyone. I'm Aaron Cylinder, firing on all cylinders.